some like chicken stuffed inside some turkey. It's like a duck in the middle of it all. That was weird. We stopped doing that really quick.
Students are getting ready for a week-long Thanksgiving break.
And the Cal Poly men's and women's basketball teams partnered with the Food Bank Coalition of San Luis Obispo to host their 3rd annual holiday food drive.
And see where you can get gourmet food on campus.
Broadcasting live from Cal Poly in beautiful San Luis Obispo, this is Mustang News.
Hello and welcome to Mustang News. I'm Brian Robbins.
And I'm Michael Frang. Here are your top stories for the week.
The Cal Poly men's and women's basketball team have partnered up with the Food Bank Coalition of San Luis Obispo for a can drive this holiday season. Allison Martinez is live at the California Fresh Market Turkey Drive. Allison, how are things looking down there?
I am here at the California Fresh Market in San Luis Obispo. It's just one of the 3 locations where the Food Coalition is hosting their turkey drive. Besides this drive, students have been donating canned foods to Mott Gym for people that are struggling with food insecurity this holiday season. Fans who choose to donate to the holiday food drive will receive a ticket to both the women's basketball game against Montana State on November 28th and the men's game against the University of Antelope. The Food Bank Coalition's goal is to alleviate hunger in the county and build a healthier community. The Food Bank Coalition of San Luis Obispo serves more than 44,000 people each year. They are asking for hearty food donations such as beans or rice. I am now with Tim, the manager of the warehouse from Food Bank Coalition. Tim, tell us a little bit about how the turnout's been today.
Sure. Turnout's been really good. Every year this is a great event for us. It gives us a chance to sort of be visible in the community. Also remind neighbors that this is a great time of year to help meet needs. Imagine what it would be like if you didn't have a turkey come holidays. This is a chance for us to really get a good supply of them and help distribute them around the county.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you guys are looking for specifically?
Sure. Definitely looking for turkeys today. Also always looking for shelf-stable goods. So that would be canned fruits, canned vegetables, beans, soups, especially lower sodium. We try to help distribute healthy food to all of our constituents. So at all times of year, those donations are welcome. Donations are always a great way to donate to the food bank as well, because typically a $1 donation can translate to about $10 worth of food and services to our neighbors.
And what about volunteers? What's that?
Volunteers are welcome. We've recently opened a new facility in San Luis Obispo. We're hoping that Cal Poly folks will take the time to come out. We're always happy to have Greek system volunteers, community club volunteers, and we have lots of need for it. So basically Monday through Saturday, there are going to be available options. You're welcome just to go to our website, which is slowfoodbank.org, and you can actually start the process off for figuring out how to volunteer there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for letting us talk to you. That's it we have here. Again, I am at the California Fresh Food Market in San Luis Obispo. Back to you guys at the desk.
The women's basketball team will be at the Vaughn's Supermarket on Broad Street to collect cans and greet customers from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on November 24th. And the men's team will be there as well from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. the following day.
There's been a change in this year's Thanksgiving schedule that's got a lot of students talking.
For the first time in several years, Cal Poly students get to enjoy a full week for Thanksgiving break. We went out there to ask how the students felt about having the extended time.
There was a multitude of reasons why we chose to go to a week-long for Thanksgiving. One of them was for the travel and safety of students. So for out-of-state students or students that live a little bit farther away than just San Luis Obispo County.
I'm from Seattle, so being able to have the week off lets me go home, and so I think that that's really important to go home and spend time with your family during Thanksgiving.
I'm excited that Thanksgiving breaks a week because I get to go on different adventures and take pictures and hang out with friends more.
My high school only gave us Thanksgiving off and then Friday off, and so I love having extra time because I can go spend it with my mom, go visit people. It's very relaxing.
It really helps everyone in the grand scheme of things. It also provides a really nice break for students, especially if they're freshmen, going into their first finals week. Kind of gives them a time to go back home or kind of take a break, kind of recharge, rewind, and then come back to school, power through that week, and then dead week in finals.
I like it a lot because it gives me a nice mental break in the middle of the quarter. give me time to like recharge, finish out strong.
Miss my family, and I think it's a good time to just go back home and visit with them and see all my relatives, and I think it'll be a good, nice week-long break.
I'm just gonna go home and eat some turkey and see some old friends.
Classes at Cal Poly will be out of session from November 21st through the 25th.
Did you know there's a fine dining restaurant on Cal Poly's campus? Not many students do. Dylan Ring reports on what the restaurant has to offer to campus.
Myron's is a gourmet-style on-campus restaurant that's gotten the attention of mostly faculty and staff. Mike Thornton is the Cal Poly Corporation Director of Business and Concept Development and is responsible for Myron's.
Specifically, its design is to have kind of a white tablecloth or a little bit more of a social environment for the faculty, the deans, and folks who are bringing either off-campus guests onto campus.
The restaurant was opened to make up for the loss of Sage, the previous fine dining location at Vista Grande. The menu features items like ahi poke, vegetable fora, and a ribeye steak that executive chef Michael Albright is making here. Myron's was opened this fall and is located next to the Avenue.
What we've gotten mostly is not knowing it's here. So finding out it's here, and that's kind of one of the things when you open up a facility like this and no one's really seen it's here, it's letting folks know where it is, getting everybody used to where it is, and so we've done some outreach on that.
But people like David Corpin are slowly discovering Myron's, which he visited for the first time.
I thought the food was fantastic. I had the mushroom burger. The atmosphere is really quaint, has nice background music, so it feels like you're in a fine dining establishment.
Although Myron's is visited mostly by staff and faculty, it's open to all of campus. Myron's currently doesn't accept plus dollars. Dylan Ring, Mustang News.
Myron's is open Monday through Thursdays from 11 to 2:30.
Police are investigating leads in an armed robbery in downtown San Luis Obispo. Dan Dempster has more on 7 armed robbery cases since June.
Here on the corner of Broad and Higuera is a popular location for ice cream sandwiches. But last week, this was the location of a crime.
Batch, a small ice cream restaurant located in downtown San Luis Obispo, was robbed at gunpoint shortly after 6 p.m. on November 9th. The suspect walked in, ordered food, then took out a handgun and demanded cash. Many of the locations robbed have been smaller businesses and restaurants just like Batch. Captain Keith Storton says these small businesses can be easier targets for robbers.
Well, sometimes it's smaller locations, it's later hours in the evening, it might be a point in time where the person feels like there's not many customers, there's only one employee to deal with, and so it makes their situation a little bit more easier for them to go in and commit the crime.
Many other armed robberies have occurred in the county, which may be connected to those in the city.
This has occurred frequently in our community as well as our surrounding communities, so it is concerning, and it is something we're actively investigating.
Since many of the robbers were successful, Captain Storton says it encourages more attempts.
So far, the robber has been successful, and as people become successful, they try other opportunities, knowing that they might be able to get away with it. But the more they do it, the more evidence they leave, and the more opportunity it provides us to solve the crime.
Storton says anyone caught in a situation like this should not intervene.
Certainly we want people to protect themselves and be good witnesses, and not intervene and do what the person asks, because it is not worth getting hurt in a situation like that.
Dan Dempster, Mustang News.
The suspect in most cases, including the Batch robbery, is described as a white male about 6 feet tall. Anyone with information about the investigation is encouraged to contact San Luis Obispo Police. And coming up next, find out who offers happy hour and exercise at the same time.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 68. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism.
Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Enjoy a beer and yoga session with a view of Morro Rock through Boga. Barbara Levin has more on this weekly event.
Boga combines two things that you never would have put together, beer and yoga. It offers beer and yoga to gather a group of people every Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Libertine Pub in Morro Bay.
Who doesn't love a beer at 10 o'clock in the morning?
For $15, attendees can socialize and relax throughout an extensive yoga lesson. Jessica Godsey is the instructor. She enjoys the making friends aspect of Boga.
I feel like when you go to a yoga class, it's very like stern face and focus on your chaturanga. But here you cheers, you talk, you make friends, and it's really the social aspect of it that really is my favorite part.
Exhale. Smile.
Godsey starts every session with an intention that they talk about throughout the class.
We usually set some sort of intention, like in normal yoga, and then we do yoga, we cheers to the intention, we talk about it, we do some more yoga, and then we repeat.
Cheers again.
Andy Rindle tried Boga for her first time and enjoyed the social aspect of talking about the session's intention.
It's a rainy day today, so the intention was what we love about rainy days and enjoying ourselves on days when the weather is a little bit different than it usually is on the Central Coast. It just made it really seem a lot more laid back than a typical yoga class where you're very much inward, you're thinking about yourself.
Cheers.
Barbara Levin, Mustang News.
To join a class, just show up at the Libertine Pub before 10 a.m. on Saturday to get your beer and yoga mat.
Kinesiology students have a unique opportunity to gain a new understanding of accessibility on campus. Adapted physical activity is a core class for kinesiology majors. Students complete activities that raise awareness and change perspectives about people with disabilities. The sensory deprivation activity allows students to use wheelchairs, blindfolds, and canes to learn about barriers and physical demands that people with disabilities face daily. Kinesiology senior Danny Delgado said even an hour in a wheelchair changed his perspective.
I was sore for the next 2 or 3 days after that. It was kind of shocking to see how much work it really is to move around this campus when you have a disability like that. It's not a disabled person, it's a person with a disability. You want to recognize the fact that they're a person before you recognize their disability, because when you kind of just look towards just the disability, you're more of classifying someone.
As part of the class, students also get to work with various communities of people with disabilities. As a result, students learn respectful language and proper physical exercises for each individual.
It's that time of year again when the San Luis Obispo Sheriff's Department is looking for donations of gently used bikes. The annual bike donation started in 1989, according to Officer Stephanie Landgraf. It has grown a lot since then.
500 bikes that we'll give away this year. Last year was just over 300. And again, we give those bikes away throughout the year. So different charitable organizations that benefit kids in our community.
After they are donated, the inmates repair and bring them back to life, a process Officer Landgraf sees as mutually beneficial.
Inmates tend to get a lot more out of something that they can actually see come full circle. If they can sense some value in what they're doing, and they get a little bit more out of it.
The San Luis Obispo Sheriff's Office accepts donations throughout the year, but their big bike giveaway will be on December 15th at the Sheriff's Department's Honor Farm.
The San Luis Obispo County History Museum is holding a new exhibit to show clothing of the past 150 years. The History Museum is now over 60 years old and is situated in downtown SLO in what was once the public library. The new exhibit in the museum, called The Way We Wore, displays clothing from the years 1850 until 1950. The exhibit aims to not just show the clothes themselves, but also to highlight how clothing and technology has changed in SLO County's history. It also tries to relate how the clothes were made, how the style of clothes has changed, and how the styles moved across the country to California, especially to San Luis Obispo. Museum director and curator Eva Oles believes that as a curator, it's more than just showing off the artifacts.
Ultimately, the goal of any curator or collections manager is to make sure that the objects you're caring for survive longer than you do. We're sort of like guardians.
Oles says that the museum is a special place because our local history is something that can help inform us who we were, where we've been, and likely will tell us where we're going. Oles enjoys this particular exhibit because it shows how much we've changed in the past 150 years through the lens of fashion. The museum is currently showing clothing up until 1900 through April. In May, clothing from the years 1900 to 1950 will be displayed.
Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Dan Bartlett held a keynote presentation this week at Cal Poly. Bartlett recently retired after 32 years as a photojournalist for the Los Angeles Times. In 2015, he was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize for his year-long investigation called Product for Mexico. The investigation looked into the abuse of migrant workers on Mexican farms and the consequences of illegal immigration. He shared these stories and pictures during his presentation. Pictures range from the race across the border to the hard work on the farms. Bartlett said that the complications that come with immigration are larger now more than ever.
This issue has gotten a lot more serious, and it's weighed heavier on me than it ever has. On the right side.
Bartlett opened a question and answer session after his presentation. Coming up, JB Garcia has your weather report.
White lines you see on the horizon, those are the pathways.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Hi, I'm JB Garcia here with your weekly weather report. As you can see in the North County, it's a little bit colder than usual. We have 65 in Paso Robles, and 66 in Atascadero, and 69 in San Luis Obispo. Moving forward, in the South County, it's going to be a little bit warmer in Arroyo Grande at 70 degrees, and then we have mid-60s all the way down through Santa Maria at 67 and 69 in Vandenberg. In the beaches, it's going to be a little bit colder up north in Cayucos and Morro Bay at 66 and 65, and a little bit warmer as you move down, low 70s in Avila, Pismo, and Oceano. In your 5-day weather forecast, we have high 69 today, it's warmer tomorrow at 74, and over the weekend it's going to cool down again. On Sunday we can expect showers, and on Monday we'll be 69 again. That's all we have for your weather this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up next, the Cal Poly football team is playing for its postseason hopes this Saturday.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it. Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
With one game left in the season, Ayrton Osley has the latest on what's at stake for the Cal Poly football team.
Pass, he'll look to go to the air. Now he's going to run. Lots of room towards the near side. Out across midfield, inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20, and finally wrapped up.
The Cal Poly football team is at its most important game of this season. The Mustangs have lost 2 games in a row for the first time this year and have a make-or-break game this weekend against Northern Colorado. Cal Poly had been riding high following 3 straight wins to close out October.
And that'll do it. Cal Poly will get the victory. Their 9th time they have won here at Hornet Stadium. They continue their nice streak against...
But after a loss at home to perennial Big Sky power Eastern Washington, the Mustangs' postseason hopes were put in jeopardy. Losing again last weekend on the road to Weber State further hurt the Mustangs' bid for the FCS tournament. Coach Tim Walsh believes there's still a chance, but with a lot of work to do.
We can still go to the national playoffs now. It's not going to be an easy task. You know, we got our work cut out for us, but if they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that they can still accomplish something fairly special and have an opportunity to play in November during Thanksgiving weekend, that's a great opportunity for this football team, and we need to try to seize that moment, seize that opportunity, but it's not going to be easy.
That work begins this weekend against Northern Colorado. With a win on Saturday against the Bears, the Mustangs would finish with their best record since 2012. Kickoff for the senior night game is at 6:05 Saturday night at Alex G. Spano Stadium. Ayrton Osley, Mustang News. With a win, the Mustangs would need the 3 Big Sky Conference leaders to lose for a chance to go to the FCS tournament. Be sure to watch this week's edition of Mustang Game Day starting at 4 p.m. Saturday. Now, since Cal Poly's fall sports are wrapping up, it is time to look towards next quarter's sports action. Nate Edelman previews Cal Poly's winter sports.
Cal Poly's winter sports feature men's basketball, women's basketball, wrestling, and swimming and diving. Last year, men's basketball finished with a disappointing 10-20 record and 4-12 in conference play. Coach Joe Calero still had a positive message when he addressed last season.
Heartbreaking and heartwarming. We've had obviously 4 or 5 games that just crush your heart. Very heartwarming in the sense that the character of the kids that we're coaching.
The Mustangs look for their first win of their season tonight versus Cal State Dominguez Hills after an 0-2 start. Cal Poly's women's basketball was 15-16 last year and 7-9 in conference play. The women's team looks to get their first win of the season tomorrow night versus Northern Arizona before a tough matchup at number 9 ranked UCLA. Cal Poly has a new wrestling coach in John Ciordas, and at his first press conference has 3 goals for the program.
Number one, we want to graduate our guys with a meaningful degree. It's incredibly important, especially at a school like Cal Poly where the academic rigor is very, very high. Second thing is we want to get integrated in the community and the campus. We want to do the right things, make sure we meet the right people. And then, third, we want to produce All-Americans and national champs.
The wrestling team plays Army at the University Union Plaza tomorrow. Cal Poly swimming and diving will be at the Trojan Diving Invitational this weekend. Last Saturday, the men's team lost to Denver while the women's team defeated Pepperdine. Nate Edelman, Mustang News.
That's all we have today for Mustang News Sports. Stay tuned after the break for more news.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to Mustang News as we approach Thanksgiving break. Michael, you have any plans for the week?
I actually do. I'm going down to Orange County to my uncle's house for the first time. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. What are you up to?
Yeah, well, I'm actually from Orange County, so we should maybe hang out. I'll probably just hang with the family, play some football.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's all we have for Mustang News today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Brian Robbins.
And I'm Michael Frank. Make sure to tune in next week for Mustang News. Have a great weekend.